Emma Greene's wedding day was the picture of perfection. Sunlight kissed the lakeside, white chairs lined the aisle, and wildflowers bloomed under a sapphire sky. Friends and family filled the seats, laughter mixing with the soft strains of violin music. But amid the sparkle of joy, there was Max, a German shepherd with eyes like polished amber, resting dutifully by Emma's side. Max had been her rock. After Emma's mother passed away 2 years earlier, she'd adopted him from a rescue shelter. He wasn't just a pet. He was a silent sentinel through sleepless nights and endless grief. He seemed to sense her emotions before she did, always one step ahead, always protecting. As Emma adjusted her veil and prepared to walk down the aisle, Max stood, tail swaying gently. He trotted alongside her, watching every guest, every movement with sharp eyes. To onlookers, it was adorable, her faithful companion attending the happiest day of her life. But Max's ears twitched. His nose wrinkled, testing the air. The breeze shifted, carrying with it something unnatural, something sharp. His body stiffened, and his gaze darted to the wooded edge behind the gazebo. His tail dropped low, hackles rising. Emma was too focused on Ben's smile at the altar to notice at first. Then Max growled a low, rumbling warning. Laughter hushed. Guests glanced around, puzzled. Emma knelt beside Max, smoothing his fur. "It's okay, boy," she whispered. But Max didn't relax. And then, startling everyone, Max lunged toward the aisle's edge, paws tearing at the earth with desperate force. "Max! No!" Emma cried, her heart pounding in confusion and fear. Guests gasped as dirt flew. The pastor faltered mid-sentence. Emma's father rushed forward, just as Max unearthed a slim metal pipe. The hiss of gas filled the silence. Ben's eyes widened in horror. "Everybody back. Get away." Pandemonium broke loose. Guests scrambled from their seats, dresses and suits tangling as they rushed for safety. Emma's father knelt, inspecting the broken pipe, face pale. Gas line must have cracked under the new landscaping. Max barked, circling Emma, nudging her insistently away from the gazebo. His every instinct screamed danger, and he wouldn't let her stay a second longer. A wedding guest called 911, but time felt like it was shrinking. Emma grabbed Ben's arm, her eyes locking with his. "He saved us," she whispered, her voice trembling. The emergency sirens wailed in the distance, but Max's gaze snapped back to the woods. His body was still tense, muscles coiled. He wasn't satisfied. Emma noticed his ears pricking high again, eyes staring into the dense trees as if he sensed something else, something coming. And then, as the emergency vehicles arrived, a rumble of thunder cracked above them. Dark clouds swirled over the lake, blotting out the sun in minutes. Emma's perfect wedding day had become a nightmare, and Max knew the danger wasn't over. Lightning split the sky as wind howled through Maple Ridge. What began as a simple storm spiraled into a monster. Trees snapped, debris flew, and the park turned into a trap. Floodwaters surged over the nearby creek, quickly cutting off the only paved road out. 100 guests, Emma's elderly grandmother among them, huddled under the pavilion, stranded as the waters rose inch by inch. "We have to move them," Emma's father yelled. "The bridge is gone, and the water's coming fast." Max was already tugging at Emma's sleeve, pulling her toward the trailhead that led into the woods. His eyes were sharp, certain he knew a way out. Emma nodded. "We trust him." With Ben, Emma, and a small group of volunteers, Max led the way. The woods were treacherous. Fallen trees blocked paths, and ankle-deep water made every step a risk. Thunder cracked overhead, but Max pushed forward, darting ahead, circling back, always guiding. Suddenly, a scream. One of the bridesmaids had slipped, her leg trapped under a fallen branch. Max was there in seconds, barking furiously. He tugged at her dress, dug around her leg, and refused to stop until they freed her. The journey grew harder. Emma stumbled, cold and soaked, and Max pressed his body against her, grounding her, keeping her moving. And then, disaster. Max yelped, paw caught in hidden bramble wire. His cries echoed through the trees, breaking Emma's heart. She rushed to him, hands trembling as she untangled the sharp thorns. Max whimpered, but his eyes stayed locked on her, filled with fierce determination. "Not today," Emma whispered, tears streaming. "We need you, boy." Max stood, limping but resolute, and kept going. Hours passed, exhaustion sinking deep. The group grew quiet, shivering and spent, their faith wavering as the woods thickened and night fell. Emma's grandmother sagged in Ben's arms, her breathing shallow. "We can't keep going," someone whispered. Max suddenly froze. His ears perked, nose lifting high. He darted away, weaving between trees like a shadow. Emma's heart lurched, but she trusted him now, completely. Minutes later, Max's barking echoed through the darkness, urgent and insistent. Emma and Ben rushed toward the sound and found him at the door of a ranger's hut, sturdy, raised on a rocky hill. Relief flooded through the group. They carried Grandma inside, wrapped her in blankets, and huddled together, grateful for solid walls. Emma gently bandaged Max's paw, stroking his fur. "You saved us again." Max lay his head on her lap, but his ears twitched, restless, uneasy. Outside, the river raged louder. Emma's eyes widened. "He knows. We can't stay here." Ben nodded grimly. "We follow him, one last time." Dawn's gray light broke as the storm eased, but the worst obstacle lay ahead, a crumbling ridge trail that led to the town's emergency shelter. On one side, jagged rocks. On the other, a sheer drop to the floodwaters below. Max stepped onto the ridge first, eyes locked forward, moving with steady care. He glanced back, barked softly, and the group began their precarious crossing. The ridge shifted underfoot. Mud slid. Emma's heart pounded as they edged forward inch by inch. Suddenly, Grandma cried out, slipping. Her frail body teetered dangerously over the edge. Max lunged, teeth sinking into her dress. His claws scraped furiously, gripping the slick mud. The group froze, terror-stricken. Emma screamed, falling to her knees, but Ben held her back. "He's got her. Hold on." Max's muscles strained, breath heaving. Inch by agonizing inch, he dragged Grandma back onto solid ground, his body trembling with effort. And then the ridge collapsed behind them. For a breathless moment, they feared Max had fallen. But no, he clawed his way up, battered, mud-caked, and alive. Emma sobbed, clutching him tight. "You did it. You saved her." Max licked her face, tail weakly wagging. The town's emergency team rushed to meet them at the shelter gates, bundling Grandma into warm blankets and checking everyone's wounds. Emma collapsed beside Max, wrapping him in her arms. His eyes fluttered shut, his body heavy with exhaustion and pain, but his tail thumped, slow and steady. Reporters snapped photos, capturing the mud-soaked dog, hero of the hour. Ben knelt beside Emma, gripping her hand. "We owe him everything." Emma pressed her forehead to Max's. "Rest now, my brave boy. You kept your promise." Max sighed, content, as the world finally slowed around him. Weeks later, the wedding was rescheduled, a quiet, simple ceremony in Emma's backyard under clear skies. This time, there were no grand decorations, no large crowds. Just close family friends, and Max, healed, proud, wearing a smart bow tie. When the pastor asked, "Who gives this woman away?" Emma's father smiled at Max and said, "This hero does." Emma knelt, cupping Max's face, tears shimmering. "You are my heart, my shield. Thank you." As they kissed and the guests cheered, Max lay by Emma's feet, eyes half closed, watchful and calm. He had faced every storm, every shadow, and had proven what true loyalty meant. And as the sun dipped low and the stars appeared, Max's ears twitched, eyes always watching, ready for whatever might come next. Because his mission was never really over.